I am so excited that my buddy Evan is joining us tonight. He's a longtime D&D player, has not played since 3.5, and we play Pathfinder, which is basically 3.5. So he is going to be joining us tonight as a level 3 swashbuckler, half-elf swashbuckler, I believe. Truth be told, I'm not even sure what his name is. But we're going to get back into it, do some recap, and get into it. So here we go.
What's happening with Andreas' character, Hans? His brother, Don or Con will come in.
Yeah, I made the joke that he is basically an NFT. There's lots of them with only slight variations between them.
I like it.
One likes tequila more than he likes beer. One has pink hair.
I love that that's what I came back on. That was great.
What did you come back on?
I came back on him being like an NFT, and then you describing all the subtle differences, which was perfect. I couldn't have imagined a better introduction. But I think we are going to get to it. So we are in the region that is known as the Sword Coast, outside of the town of Phandelver. Oh, crap, I should get the books. Give me a second.
Oh yeah, I forget. We're playing off of a book.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of the town of Phandelver, which is built on the ruins of an older town. It's like a wilderness town. It's like a Wild West type situation where there is no official guard, but all of the citizenry keep arms at hand should the need arise. You know, they are ruled as a township by a singular town master elected by the town. And you all found yourselves here in search of jobs, adventure, glory, money, whatever it is that motivates your character in particular. Bink and Hans, Bink being the rogue Gripply, aka Frog Person, who is only a couple feet tall, blue, and primary weapon is a dagger, I believe. And
poison.
And poison, which she proudly makes herself. And Hans, the human barbarian?
Yes.
With an axe. Two-handed axe?
Can be.
With a large axe as his primary weapon. These two met as fate does at a job board. They selected a job, decided to undergo together to warn a widow of some danger. There had been dragon sightings recently, and she lives on her own in a windmill outside of town where it was unsafe. And you were told to go inform her of the danger and bring her back. When you reached her estate, you found a large manticore attempting to gain entry to her lighthouse. And after a very dramatic battle, you scared off, the manticore. She was very grateful, gave you each a couple of health potions. And you guys found your way back to town, where you were paid for your job by Town Master Harbin Wester, who is a unique and interesting gentleman, terrified of the dragon in the area, refuses to leave his home, will yell at you through the door, never open it, and when it comes time to pay adventurers for jobs, he slips one gold coin at a time under his door until payment in full has been collected. The party then found another job on the board to go warn some dwarves that had hidden away in a mountain of some danger, and of this dragon, because they're dwarves. They live in the mountain. They never come outside. Why would they know about the dragon? And the team went. They warned the dwarves. They took up a side job to go clear out some ruins that they had started to excavate. Fought a shit ton of jellies, and eventually found like a trapped statue which blew up on their dwarvish companions. There were some orcs which ambushed them on their way out, and they bested everyone, rested up, and headed back. During this adventure, their friend Dawn came and went. They found another, let me see, here's a an elf ranger.
Oh, was a half elf, I think?
You know, he might have been a half elf. I think he was a half elf ranger.
Yeah, he's a half elf.
What's up, network? We are doing some D&D. We're just getting started. This is Lost Mine of Phandelver and Dragon of Icespire Peak. So he had come and gone. He was another guest star in this campaign, guest player. He is no longer with the party. He does have a tendency to run off. He's a quirky gentleman. But the party then found another. The jobs were updated. They went to go clear out some orcs, and actually, I'm going to specifically read off the job because this is the one you guys are actually on, and I feel like it's worth reminding you guys. Orcs have attacked Butterskull Ranch, 5 miles east of Coneyberry, along the Tribord Trail, which the party is on right now. Travel there with haste. Assess the damage and help any way you can. Ranch owner Alphonse, Big Al Calazorn, is a retired sheriff who can reward you for your efforts. If he's dead, return to Town Master Harbinwester with proof of Calazorn's demise to receive a reward of 100 gold pieces. Although I think I made it 200 for you guys because this book is super stingy, and I've been doubling the rewards. Which you guys are on the Triborn Trail. You decided to undergo this quest. On the way out of town, you stopped and spoke with the keeper of the general store, Mr. Barthen from Barthen's Provisions, and he told you that a friend of his had gone missing along the Triborn Trail and asked you to keep an eye out for him, which you agreed to do because you were going that way already. Along the way, you saw a Mary with her keen gnomish eyes. No, excuse me, keen halfling eyes? No, gripply eyes.
No, I'm not even Mary.
Bink, god damn it. Bink with
Baby Bink, dude.
Baby Bink, the Gripply Frog. I have too many campaigns that I run. Baby Bink, the Gripply Frog, saw with her excellent vision, perched atop Hans, on top of his head, riding on his helmet as she usually does, a couple of somethings in the road ahead. And when she crept ahead, she found that they were dead horses. And not only did she see that they were dead horses, but she also spotted, I see we're being joined. Excellent. She also spotted a goblin hiding in the shrubs, like looking at the road. She went back to warn her party, and her and the ranger, Dawn, tried to sneak up on these goblins, and unfortunately the goblin rolled a natural 20 on his perception check and spotted them, and all hell broke loose. The goblins were defeated after a super righteous battle. The party had then decided that, because it was getting late, that they would rest here by the roadside and continue on their journey in the morning. And that is, I'm going to pick us up the evening of. So Bink and Hans are setting up camp after Dawn has left them, discussing the events of the night, when you see a figure walking up the road towards you. And this is a pretty commonly traveled trail. And there are, Phandelver is a Wild West style town. There are lots of adventurers, treasure seekers coming and going through it. And you already have met one fellow adventurer who just showed up and said, yeah, I took a job off the board. This is what I'm here to do. And all these thoughts race through your head as you see this figure approach you up the road. And Evan, if you would describe your character.
Okay, so character is a half-elf swashbuckler, therefore relatively flamboyant in the drab that he wears, though not so much to necessarily gather attention, but that kind of shiny red shirt, dangling hoop earring, dirty, well-worn traveling boots, and is often staring off into the tree line left and right, trying to figure out where the hell he is.
Cool. Love it. He's probably about 100 feet down the road and closing the distance on you guys. You guys have chosen to set up camp near the road, so your campsite is very visible to anybody who'd be traveling here. And Bink and Hans probably have just a moment or two before this figure's within earshot.
Can they see him though?
Oh yeah, you guys are very obvious to each other, despite the fact that it's
Okay.
low light. It's It's a pretty narrow spot in the road.
Bink's gonna just jump on Han's head.
Han's like eating a sandwich or whatever, and like he's just gonna stand up, and then he's gonna like finish the rest of his sandwich, and then just go down and see what this adventurer is doing, because they look like they're a bit lost. So like you just see Hans like he walking with the small blue frog on the top of his helmet.
Yeah, and would
like,
you describe Hans, like what he looks like, what Evan's character sees?
All right, so you're seeing like this guy in like leather and metal armor. He has like a metal helm. He's got like a bushy like brown beard, and then you obviously you're on top of his helmet. You're seeing like a blue frog.
Am I within voice range?
Oh yeah, you guys can absolutely holler at each other. You do have to step over a couple of horse corpses in order to get to them and their campsite, or like walk around them, or whatever you decide. There are a pair of horse corpses in the middle of the road.
Horse corpses. God, I hope they don't move. Whoa, big fella. What is that? Woo! I could say, good sir, other than crumbs, I believe you have a frog on your head. Are you aware?
With the wording of frog, Bink is gonna like the hissing frogs and go, Gripply, not frog, racist, and put her tongue out and hit you in the face with it. Is he within 10 feet?
Not if he's still at the corpses. Hans is closing the gap. But you can still just in the air in front of him, or wait until you get closer. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm sorry. Did you say Ripley?
Gritly.
Gritly. Not familiar. Beg your pardon.
And Hans, like, he's still like swallowing some of his food. Like, oh yeah, she didn't like if you call her frog.
I definitely beg your pardon then. Well, I find myself on this road, and I don't often see creatures on other creatures. So I decided to say hello. Hello, I am Sylvester, no last name. Just wandering aimlessly. I hear there was a town nearby, but I don't recall the name. Fandango? Anyone?
Fandango sounds about right. It's down south, but you were you coming from that way?
I don't know. Was I coming from town, or was I going the opposite direction?
Your call. If you want to be on track to be heading towards town, you'd come from the north. If for whatever reason you are heading north, if you want to be coming from town and just be turned around, totally your call.
I'm definitely turned around. Put me back on those horse corpses. Those corpses. Oh. In that case, I believe I'm going the wrong direction, and I must walk backwards. Excuse me. He walks backwards.
Hans just like, wait, you want some help? We're down a party member, and we kind of need some meat shield.
Did you say party? I do love a good party. Will there be drink?
Hans is gonna pull out one of his bottles of a large bottle of beer, like plenty, and he's gonna toss it over to him.
Awesome. I'm happily scampering towards the offered bottle. And
for fun, because there's horse courses between you, roll me a reflex save to see if you catch this bottle flying towards you of alcohol, which Hans has tossed at you.
It was 11. All right.
Quick question. When we tortured the goblins last game, did we get any, noticeable information?
I don't know. Did you?
Can't remember, and I can't find my sticky notes.
We basically found out that they are in the forest and that there are more of them.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if it was like, the one you want is Craig, and then they die or something.
No, I don't think you got anything like that. I think all you really found out is that there's more of them. Like, these are not the only ones.
And they 100% killed them horses with the ponies and the dwarf.
Oh yeah, just looking at the arrows that are embedded in the horses and then the arrows that are in the quivers of the goblins, like 1000% these goblins for sure murdered the horses. But you had also seen, you had also done an investigation of the area, I believe, and had discovered like a goblin trail which led, or just a trail of some kind which led into like a small break in the forest. You just weren't willing to go into the forest as the sun was going down and decided to camp
Yeah,
until
that
the
was
morning.
it.
And so
There we
then
go.
you guys basically are left the next morning with a choice of whether or not you follow the goblin trail or whether or not you continue on the road to your original destination. Um, but we'll call that the result of your goblin investigation.
Okay.
Sylvester, what'd you get?
So my dice apparently really need to be warmed up. So I have a modified 10.
Okay.
That's my reflex save. And if I fall on my face, I would love to be able to do acrobatics, if at all possible.
Okay. A 10 is enough to stay upright. But you do that like juggling thing with the bottle where it like bounces off your palm and it flies in the air and you like go to catch it but like you're moving too fast and you like hit it farther in the air again. And you can go ahead and make your acrobatics check and see if you can hop off of these horses to like snatch this bottle out of the air essentially.
Probably not. I rolled exactly what I did last time, but I have a better modifier for that, so I have an 11.
I mean, it's just a bottle, so not with any kind of flair, but it's like you like get on the horse corpses and you like go to spring off of them, but like they've been sitting here for a little while and they're pretty rigid and you expected them to like give a little bit and they didn't, so you like went off at a wonky angle and you like landed and just kind of like looked up and and you like just come up with the bottle, but it's not pretty or graceful, but you do come up with the bottle.
That went much better in my head, but thank you.
Bink, seeing all this, is gonna like kind of whisper in Han's ear. Ah, must be tadpole. Just grew late.
Awesome.
Hans just like responds like, "That's good, you caught it. You would have owed me 25 gold for that bottle right there."
Good heavens. Well, I would say
real
that
quick, Hans, is it actually worth 25 gold?
No.
Yeah.
Roll me a fucking bluff check, my friend. You're not gonna sneak that one past me.
Oh, the dice are not in my favor either. Let's see what I got.
Evan,
flat 9.
If Sylvester is the kind of guy to just believe everybody, you can choose to believe that for roleplay reasons. If you'd like an opportunity to determine he's lying, please roll me a sense motive check.
I got 27.
He's so full of shit.
Oh my. Well, I would say that my wobbly legs are much more keen when drunk or on water. This land is much too firm for me. But I take the gift as it is given, and takes a swig of the beer, and very gently, two-handed, hands it back.
Bink, hearing you say that you do better in like on water, she gonna smack Han's helmet and go, "Aye, right, just lost tail."
Hans takes back the bottle and he's gonna be like, we were tracking some goblins, and he's gonna point to like the break in the bushes and be like, we were gonna go in at some point here today and track them to help find someone as a favor for the local shopkeep. If you'd like to join us.
I was going that direction, I think. Was I? Anyway, goblins. Yes, death to the goblins. Here we go.
Are you? Because they're obviously like getting set and ready for camp. Is Sylvester flamboyant enough to just like trudge off towards the break in the woods and just assume that's happening right now, or are you gonna camp with them for the night?
Oh,
Yes, I believe he.
Okay, so you guys see Sylvester just like trudging along towards the break that you pointed out, saying, "Oh, wonderful, let's carry on," or whatever the last thing he said was.
Bink is gonna jump on his head.
Cool. Yeah, he's still close enough. That's fine. You got a good, nice, long jump speed. You're solid.
Okay,
Yes,
Bink's gonna just. Are you wearing a helmet or anything, or is this just hair?
That's just hair.
Bink is
All
gonna
natural.
ratatouille your ass and like, take the hair in the little gripper hands, I guess is what we're gonna call them.
The little like
and try to
bulbous ends
pierce
you
you
have
back.
on the end of your fingers.
My suction cup fingies, and she's gonna like ratatouille where she grabs the hair and tries to make you turn to like steer you like a horse.
So Sylvester feels first, hears like a whooshing sound through the air, and then like hears kind of a dull, wet plop at the same time he feels a small impact of like, I don't know how much we decided Bink weighs, but it's like less than 10 pounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
It feels like a small sticky impact on his head, and then like, the hair on one side starts tugging, like to try to, like if it was a bridle, it'd be trying to turn you around.
Upon feeling the weight on the head, Sylvester would freeze, and arms would go out scarecrow style, and immediately start to respond to the hair pulling with stiff-legged wobbly steps, and spins around on one leg to head back towards camp.
Oh, for canon purposes, Bink is like barely, like probably like a foot and 7 inches tall, max 20 pounds.
Okay, there you go. Oh man, whew, that's great. So Bink. So surprisingly, this, and I'm sorry. What are you? What is Sylvester?
Half elf.
A half elf. This half elf freezes awkwardly. Sticks his arms out, and then like kind of like cocks his head to one side for a second, spins on his heel, and starts like stiffly legged walking back towards Hans.
Okay, whatever you say.
In the meantime, Bink is gonna, because her fingers are kind of wet, she's gonna be doing the thing where you play with someone's hair and try to make it like a mohawk. To make it like gelled a little bit, because this is like her first real time touching hair since Han's always in his helmet.
Yeah, and Don always had a hat on too.
And Don always had a hat, so this is like real interesting.
Yeah, well, there's going to be plenty of it to play with. Being that if it were styled, it would probably do like a full pompadour. So you can get all tangled up.
Going like ham, just keep running the like bubble hands through it.
Oh, love it.
Okay, so just to clarify, it is evening of the next day?
No, it is evening. You guys just killed the goblins like an hour ago. You decided to set up camp. You got your camp set up, and you were like, talking about the day when this figure approached you. So it's, there's still light in the sky, but the sun is no longer out. And, it's going to be dark in the next hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, then, Hans, like, whenever he sees Bink approaching, he's like, see if you can get him to help set up camp.
Bink is gonna go, like, she's gonna do the thing where basically she leans over to make eye contact and just go, "You help."
just gonna like look up and wiggle my eyebrows and smile.
And in response, you will get a wide mouth opened, toothless grin of ha.
Whatever you
was-
say.
What was the last thing that Bink ate?
Um,
Boiled eggs, right?
just boiled eggs, yeah, not rotten eggs, just eggs.
Yeah, and Bink's breath as she gives you that open smile has like the faintest hint of egg on the scent.
I will politely try not to cough.
Hey, you're lucky. She has grown a taste for slime.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Ooh.
I just realized that under overtipping.
No, the last thing in her mouth was poison, Dave.
Well, it was her own poison. So the last food she ate was.
Oh,
egg.
okay. I was gonna be like, am I gonna accidentally
No,
like
the last
poison
food. It's just a flavor thing. It's a flavor thing. What's up, Evan? I heard you start.
Sorry, I just realized. This is I'm gonna be learning this character. I had the ability to do some daring do as I tripped over those horses. It well worked out just fine, but apparently I have an ability that helps with dramatics and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. So
I'm gonna be good at this.
there you go. I'm glad that it was on, the inconsequential, beginnings of introductions rather than at a critical moment. So that's good.
I was happy to fall on my face. I was not happy to break that expensive bottle.
Yeah, above 10 on your rolls isn't like, that's top half of the dice. You're never going to fuck up that bad on something that easy. It's not like you're trying to swing across a chasm or resisting a mind-altering effect or, it's catching a bottle. You're all right.
It's all good.
I'd like to think that as like Hans was saying 25 gold bottle, there's like just a sticker on it that says like 2 gold.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like I got this across. It's handmade, and then there's made in China sticker on the bottom.
okay. So, Bink is riding Sylvester as you guys get camp set up for the night, and for the first time in your evening, the three of you like have a minute to sit down around the campfire, eat some trail rations, and like have a moment to relax in between all of your adventuring.
While kind of going on, Bink is gonna Can she drag the goblin corpses over?
Yeah, you guys do whatever you want, and as part of your making camp process.
Yeah, she's gonna be dragging the goblin corpses over to where the campsite. And you know how you can kind of I forget what it's called, but you know how some civilizations would hang up corpses of their enemies to use as a don't fuck with me kind of thing?
Yeah.
Bink is gonna be doing that and cutting off hands, popping eyes out, pop one in her mouth like a gusher, and setting up around the camp to just let them know, do not fuck with her while she's sleeping.
So has she made like a nest almost out of dead body parts that is?
Yeah, basically, kind of she's just hanging them up in areas just around the camp, probably cracking
and
a skull open,
she's
getting
small,
the blood.
and they're goblins. They're also small, but I'm imagining that she needs to dismember them in order for them to be small enough for her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's chopping the bits up, chop the hands up, hang them up over here, cut the head off.
Okay, this is very obvious process to Hank and Sylvester, or Hans and Sylvester, I'm sorry. And you guys can for sure react to that if you have reactions to that.
You hear this often.
Bink is gonna go, ah. Ah.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah.
A Gripply trade with Goblin, except when we don't. Then we kill. And just as she's kind of stabbing dagger in the eyeball, popping it out, popping it into her mouth, gusher style.
Yeah, delightful.
All right.
Hans?
Hans was just chopping up firewood with his axe, and then he just looks over the dismemberment. He's just Ew. Like shivers a little.
That's great. Go for it.
So I'm assuming now there are a spume about displayed body parts of goblins floating around?
Yeah, like a torso with the stomach slit and the guts hanging out, and like an arm hanging from a tree here, like a leg draped over a large stone there. Like little tiny like handprints on like trees and rocks and stuff that are like distinctly gripply because the fingers end in these like huge bulbous knobs. Yeah, everywhere.
Can I locate one of the goblins' heads?
Unless Bink has done anything specific with the heads.
She's kind of doing jack-o'-lantern style. She's popping the eyes out and just setting them off to the side.
Yeah.
To, like,
Okay.
thrown amongst the, dismemberment.
Yeah. So Sylvester sees a pile of goblin heads with no eyes.
So, 2 sticks, 2 heads. I now have puppets.
Okay. Bink sees Sylvester like approach these heads with a pair of sticks and like pick one up and just like plant it very solidly on the stick. Goes over to another one, plants it equally solidly. The twig snaps in half. Sylvester's, goes and grabs another stick and, tries it again. And this time it, and then he's just like holding 2 dismembered goblin heads, which you've already eaten the good parts, the eyes out of, and possibly the tongues. I don't know. But he's got 2 goblin heads on sticks.
Bink is going to kind of get up on top of her feet, and she's going to be like clapping, like like that, and jumping from one foot to the other, because this is her fun moment. This is like reminiscing childhood experiences.
I'm gonna sing whatever silly song comes in and start dancing around, calling one Icky and one Biggie, and asking them if they'll protect us tonight, while also stupidly singing whatever song comes to mind.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Bink, in response to all is just popping, dancing around, and clapping, and just. Oh.
Hans, buddy, this is a spectacle. How are you reacting?
Your 2 party members are a bunch of crackheads.
These dudes are, yeah, they're popping off tonight. Like, like last night you guys were staying in a tavern. 2 nights ago, yeah, you stayed in a mountain and this like crazy Dawn guy came and found you. But like, you were staying in a mountain. And you like look around and see and like smell the blood in the air, and goblin blood is like thick and has a very distinct scent to it. And like look over and just see like the intestines of one goblin, another, goblin hand holding a goblin foot hanging from a tree, like seeing Bink like bouncing back and forth and clapping at Sylvester, who's like singing this silly song.
I think Hans is gonna make it a point to sleep like a little bit away from both of them tonight.
So Hans just like quietly picks up his bedroll and moves it farther away from the campsite.
A little bit. It's one thing to kill a goblin in the heat of battle. It is another to splay their remains.
All right. At some point, Sylvester is going to take one stick and point it north, and the other stick point it south, wherever the camp is. Flip out the bedroll and lay down or that.
Cool. Sounds good. And I am going to DM move you guys through. Well, I don't know. Actually, that depends. Hans and Bink have traditionally been like undergoing a watch type deal when they camp out in their other campaigns, but I don't think they've camped out in this campaign yet. So you see Sylvester like lay out his bedroll, get in it, nice and comfy style. He's ready for bed.
Bink is gonna go up to Hans and kind of like shake him, or like be like, poke.
He's gonna like look down and be like, "What?
You You want first shift?
He's gonna be like, sure, yeah.
Okay. I see better in dark.
So I'm assuming second shift for you.
E.
Okay.
Sylvester, this conversation's probably happening within earshot. They're talking about like watches and stuff. Does that concern him or not?
I mean, I just posted 2 sentries, so. But we'll volunteer for third shift. I've got that low light elf stuff.
And the three of you should be able to split the night at 3 hours apiece and still be able to benefit from your long rests for sure. So if everybody would roll me a perception check, please, for your respective watches.
Okay,
Ah.
22.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
11.
22, 11,
Ooh.
14.
Yeah.
In the chat, a video of dancing has been added for dramatic effect.
For dramatic effect. Oh man. Okay, and it was Han's first watch, Bink second watch, Sylvester third watch. Fortunately, the night passes without incident, and this is the bad side about running a campaign out of a book, is that I have to make sure the night passes without incident. Oh no, that's right. That's what I do. And the night passes without incident. You guys all awake the following morning. 7, 8 o'clock. Those early morning rays shining through. Sylvester's already up because he had the last shift, and therefore has the option of waking his party members if he likes. Otherwise, the early morning hour will awaken them all on its own, and the three of you can discuss what your plans are for the day.
Sylvester's going to start making breakfast and seeing if there's anything been gnawed upon that was displayed over the evening but not disturb the peoples.
Ooh, I like that. Roll me a survival check, please. As you go through, you find that like nothing really appears disturbed, but you have a sneaking suspicion it has something to do with the fact that when goblin blood dries and congeals, it blackens and becomes like rubbery, and the stench does not go away, and it's just kind of like evenly coated all of these goblin bits and pieces, and a lot of them are mostly blackened in blood at this point, and you suspect that may be why they were left undisturbed.
Wouldn't want to bite that myself. Cool. He'll just start whistling to himself.
And I'll say the whistling is loud enough with the early morning rays to awaken the other two to the sound of whistling, the smell of breakfast, and the warm feeling of the sunshine of the early morning sunshine on your cheeks.
I'm just gonna, I guess, wake up smelling the food, hearing the whistling, and like for a second he thinks he's back home, then wakes up and realizes like oh, never mind.
I'm in this goblin crack house.
Yeah. As he like starts smelling the goblin bits around him.
Yeah, they definitely taint the way breakfast smells, but the breakfast is at least fresh over a hot fire, and all the goblin bits are cold, so the scent doesn't carry quite as well.
Hans is gonna like wake up and seeing like Sylvester like, did you cook this?
I did. Do you want yours with or without goblin ichor?
with Vow.
An excellent choice.
Bink?
Hans does not know what Ichor is.
Oh.
Special seasoning. Ah.
Oh, that's especially funny because Hans's player has had issues with seasoning before. That's great. Bink, you have awoken as well.
Bink is gonna kind of follow behind Hans to get her breakfast. She's just gonna be standing there. She waiting.
Is Sylvester going to prompt her with the same question?
If there were any eyeballs left, or any little tasty bits left, those are also presented.
With your survival roll, she
No.
got all the eyeballs. You found like an obscure finger or two, which you can try to present to her if you want.
Pull my finger.
Bink is just gonna put the finger in her mouth. As in, not pick it up with her hand, just go, wah.
It does
There's
not.
a good creature.
It does not taste good.
I think to Bink it would. She liked the slime.
I guess she liked the slime,
Yeah, she's just gonna be sucking on it. You know how like you suck on crawfish?
Yeah.
Or not crawfish. Yeah, like the Cajun style, and you're and then she's just gonna be like having the bones and kind of picking them apart and putting them in her pocket.
Alright. I like it.
Well, if I had known that this one ate, I would have gathered the rest, but have at it. Good morning.
Wow.
This is gonna be like eating his food. It's not made out of goblin bits, is it? Or is it?
No, I promise. No goblin. I wouldn't touch the stuff myself.
Okay, that's good to know. As he continues biting into it,
Yeah.
Hearing that, Bink is just gonna go, wasteful.
Whenever we're done here, we can pick up camp and head into the forest. We don't want. I don't actually remember their names because I write down fake names for them so that I don't actually remember their real names.
You can
I
roll
wrote Barley.
You can roll.
Barley's who we're trying to save.
Barthen is the one who gave you the quest. But
Oh, never mind. A Gundam.
Gundam. Oh yeah.
Like anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll a wisdom save to see if you remember his name?
Nah.
Okay. Well, then I can't help you.
But we have to. We need to make sure we need to save. We need to try and save Gundam. I believe he was a dwarf, friend of the tavern keep. He was taken by goblins, some of which we've slain here.
Dwarves, you say?
Yee. Bink is going to go, yee, yes. Flashy. Shiny.
Well, if he's a dwarf, it could be under any of these hedges. Have you checked the hedges?
No.
This particular dwarf, I feel like we would have seen. Apparently, he was blinged out.
Well, they do like shiny things decorate themselves. He flicks his earring. Well, if we're done, then I believe we have goblins to kill, as you said last evening. And he gets up, starts palling around things, and then goes in the wrong direction.
Bink, you
Bink
have a
wants to-
second to decide if you want to jump on his head or not.
Yeah, she's going to jump on the head and ratatouille his ass.
Okay. And a familiar feeling overcomes you, Sylvester, as you feel the familiar plop and pull of Bink upon your dome.
A hat is returned. Oh, here we go. Oh, ha ha! Ha ha!
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Okay, so you guys your intention is to, for the moment, delay on the board quest to follow the Goblin Trail to see if you can track down the missing dwarven friend of Barthen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to. Clarity is the name of the game in my world. So, I will. Who's leading this party into the woods?
I kind of. What was our layout last time? I liked our layout last time.
Dawn's gone, so it'll be a different layout anyway.
Ah, damn it.
I'm just kind of, again, he's a little dumb, but he does not want. He has a sneaking suspicion that he doesn't want Sylvester leading the party.
And wait, can Bink lead the part? Can Bink go in front but be sneaking? Just walking ahead, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But if you're following a trail, then that means that Bink is the one who the guys behind are following, and you are the one who will roll the survival check to follow the trail.
You guys want me to roll the survival check?
Doesn't matter what the players want. It matters who's leading the characters into the woods.
Last I checked, you're on my head, so if you can follow that trail and direct me, we can head whatever direction you want.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I was eating a Scoopy snack. Okay. I think Bink, I was literally eating a Scooby snack. No joke, dead ass, cut the cameras. But I think Bink's just gonna jump off their head. Or Bink jumps off Sylvester's head. And kind of gets in that sneaky, crouchy position. And is gonna go in front. But you know how she was off the trail last time, walking on the sides?
Yeah, it'll be harder in the woods to stay off the trail. You'll need to stay much closer to it because you were like off the road before, which was like specifically cleared on either side.
Yeah,
you're traveling into a forest.
There is a bit different terrain.
Right.
But that's kind of her plan, is just staying off to the side. So
I mean, how far off to the side?
As far off as she can be, where she can like stay somewhat hidden but still see the guys, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they got to keep their eyes on you. I mean, they're gonna, cause like, once you start following the trail in, you're gonna see that it's a goblin-sized trail, and so, like, Bink is going to be able to navigate through it relatively easily. But if she's traveling off the trail, you know, even a little bit, then she's gonna have to make her own way through the underbrush, you know.
Yeah, could she just ditch them and go ahead?
Yeah, as far as she wants. I mean, it's up to her, and then they can try and catch up. But on that note, Sylvester and Hans come to, you know, like, you guys can follow the trail for the first 20 minutes, no big deal. The next 20 minutes are a lot more slow going, and then you get to the point to where, you know, if you don't call up after Bink, she's going to be gone because she's moving at a much faster pace than you with her, like, small stature through this, you know, goblin-sized trail.
So it's kind of overgrown then?
Yeah, it's an untamed forest, with the exception of goblins are, you know, 3.5 feet tall. So, you know, the bottom 4 feet of underbrush in about a 5 foot wide stretch has been kind of like beaten back and pulled away. And so it's, you know, it's relatively obvious the direction you're going. But because Bink is a 2 foot frog who can like hop along that trail, no big deal, which is why I was asking her how far off the trail she was traveling. You know, it'll take you and Hans will have to do a little bit of clearing to get through this forest.
Bink is gonna look back at the boys and be like, I go ahead. And like just go into sneak and hop off.
Well, depending on party layout, Svessa will turn around to Hans and say, "Well, my boy, you want to show me if that axe is just for show?"
Where we're going, we don't need an axe. As like Hans is going to just run into the forest and like attempt to just brute force the
Jesus
brush.
Christ, you're Kool-Aiding it?
Yeah.
Roll me. What is higher, your strength modifier or your bull rush modifier?
So strength modifier, like total score, just the modifier.
Just the modifier.
+3.
What's your bull rush?
Bull rush +6.
Ooh, go ahead and roll me a bull rush, man.
Oof. Oh, wait. Do I roll into sneak now, or is this where I wait till later?
You're rolling me both a sneak and a survival, and do them both now, please.
Okay.
19 for bull rush.
Yeah, man, that's sick. You are able to like pile drive through a ton of the brush, and you're getting like scratched and scraped and stuff, taking 3 points of damage as you like charge through the forest. But Sylvester can just walk very easily behind you as you're just like trudging through the trees.
Well, then he's strolling and may try to whistle.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, you know, you got to watch your step, but you could probably whistle and walk simultaneously now that Hans has made such a wonderful forest path for you to take your leisurely stroll down.
He may pick a flower if there's any nearby. No idea what's going on.
Not in the direct line of, not in the direct path.
I don't know. Does he consider moss a flower? Bink, what is your sneak?
30.
And what was your survival?
21.
Are you coming back to the boys periodically to like make sure you keep an eye on them? Well, I guess first you can hear Hans behind you before you get too far. You hear like the sounds of like twigs and branches snapping and like foot stomps like trudging through, and you know.
Yeah, she's not gonna check on him. She can hear him.
Okay.
This is like when Mom goes in the other room to fold laundry and she can still hear Sesame Street and she knows it's safe.
Cool. And your survival was 21. After heading down the trail about 10 minutes or so, you are able to spot a tripwire running along the trail.
Can Bink try to dismantle it?
Yeah, that's a disable device check.
Okay. I sometimes forget what the different skills are.
That's my job. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Where's it? 16.
That.
Are you pausing for dramatic effect?
No, I have to find they put the
trap. Oh, I thought it was going to be really bad.
They put the traps in like a different box, so I got to go find the trap box and go find the DCs for it.
I thought it was going to be like, Jennifer, you had to roll 25.
No, no. This is no. I don't think so. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it. What was your number?
16.
Yes, you are able to successfully disarm the trap.
Yay!
It does take you a little time though, which allows for the boys to catch up. And as Hans is just like trudging down the forest, he sees like a blue spot in the trail ahead of him through the underbrush.
I'd like to think that he's just, continuing on the path, breaking branches in his face and everything as it goes. So I don't think he's going to stop.
Okay, Bink, you just barely get this trap undone, and you hear the sounds of branches snapping behind you, and it's getting louder with no signs of slowing down.
Okay, will revealing herself to them break her sneak in general, or no?
No.
Bink, hearing this dumbass coming, is going to be like, kind of hop over to them and get him to stop, because if there's one trap, there's more.
Well, I mean, how are you? He's a lot bigger than you are. What are you proposing here?
She's gonna slap him in the face with her. Like, she's gonna. You know, like when you hop up and just, like, high five someone's face?
Yeah.
She's gonna do that. Like, just kind of.
There is a lot of underbrush here. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Okay. At least these are, like, Bink's good skills.
Well, you know.
17.
I'm about to say, I would hope. She's a fucking frog. I hope she knows how to jump.
Oh, yeah. It's, like, her climb is, like, 13, and it's like, imagine if that was a 2.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, 17 is enough to, jump up, land on a branch, jump up, land on another branch, giving her enough height to, make a clearance jump onto Han's head, who feels, Bink's tongue slapping him in the face as she, lands on his head. And do you want to say anything to him, Bink?
Bink is gonna go, stop.
And he kind of stops, but it's not necessarily because it's not because he was told to stop. It's because for the past however long he's been getting hit by rough, dry branches and leaves, and all of a sudden he's been hit by a wet, sticky thing, and it just completely throws him off, and he has to stop.
It's that moment of, did a bird just shit on my head?
Yeah, that sort of situation.
Did I run into a bug? What happened?
Anyway, Hans has stopped.
Bink is gonna kind of point in the forward direction and be kind of trap. Ionar, you need to slow down. Watch.
So just wait here.
Huh?
I'll let Sylvester go.
Well, Sylvester's going to saunter up now that his battering ram has stopped, and either dust debris or pick something off of the body of Hans, and I helped. What are we doing?
There's traps ahead, as Bink is saying.
Then we should sneak. Can you sneak, Hans?
Bink is gonna go, yes, sneak.
Alright, let's see. This is going to.
Bink is gonna jump off this Han's head and just start going back to whatever she was doing.
Cool. I've got your stealth roll from before, so you're good.
Let's see, sneak. Stealth. A 7. So you just see.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, you rolled a 7?
All right.
It was an 8.
Okay, hold up. You rolled an 8. How'd you get a 7?
Negative modifiers, baby.
Oh, that's how bad it is?
Yup. Oh man.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Sylvester, you pitched going into sneak. Is that an action that you're taking?
Yeah, it would have been a very dramatic crouch if we're starting to sneak. I did roll, and I got an 18 myself.
Okay, that's not shabby. That's not too shabby. Pretty obvious between Sylvester and Bink who the weak link is here.
Bink is just gonna when how toddlers will show you their picture drawings and it's horrible, but you just kind of smile and give them a thumbs up and it's yeah, that totally looks like me. Yeah.
I'm fully imagining that it's just did the Skyrim crouch animation to to get into sneak.
You're doing the hammer time dance move, just walking around hammer time. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
It'd be just having a full-size Minotaur just crouch and hide behind one leaf that they're holding up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, here we go.
Bink is just gonna hop off ahead and leave these two behind. And the whole time she's thinking to herself, in her own language, so it's a bit more adequate. I just left these, like, babies. I left the tadpole behind. They're gonna die.
Oh.
This is like a moment of, like, I just left 2 eggs, and they are fucked.
If Sylvester is seeing her hop off and jump away, is going to aggressively whisper, "Do call out more traps, please?" As very obviously dramatic creep sneak is happening somehow.
Dramatic creep sneak. It's like it like looks flamboyant, but you're stepping in all the right places. You're like not actually making any noise. You're like moving. You're very animated with your movements, but they're all very quiet.
It's the whole, like, na 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 as he's, like, panthers his way through this.
Exactly that. Thank you. That was you literally read my mind.
That's how I find every person sneaking in D&D. It's just like the tippy toe of na na na.
I feel like there's got to be a cursed set of boots somewhere that just make those noises.
Oh my god, that would be so good. Or just like makes like the sound of like a wood board creaking, you know, like with every step. Oh man, that is cursed.
It'd be great because
boots
the person
squeaking.
The wearer of the cursed item cannot hear any of this, but it's amplified tenfold for everybody else.
Oh man,
Oh my
can't
That's great.
hear self amp for others. Oh man, yeah, that's.
Please tell me it squeaks like wood even when they're not walking on wood.
It's got to.
It specifically squeaks like something else when they're walking on wood. It only squeaks like wood when they're not on wood, and then when they're walking on wood,
It's like squelching, like wet mud squelching sounds.
Right? Yeah. It like specifically makes a different sound.
Perfect.
That's funny.
Okay, guys, we're gonna workshop a couple of magic items together in a couple of weeks. I'll be calling you all, so stay by your phones.
I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram, Facebook, all that.
Let me know if you know of anybody. You know what? Actually, Andreas, if you want to get started on getting us a sketch together of the cursed boots of squelching,
wait,
we'll go ahead.
the t-shirts are done for our other group. We
Oh.
finished the Wiffle Bonkers and the Sneaky Queen.
I post them in Discord. I want to see them. But
Okay.
we are getting a little bit off track. I love it, though. It is great. These boots are going in a campaign eventually. And they're just silly enough. They might honestly be just an additional thing that go into one of the one-shots at some point. That might be just perfect. Okay. Whew. Okay, so you guys have just... Bink has discovered the snare, disarmed it, warned Hans, who has, as of now, slowed up, but that was more because of the like texture difference of Bink's tongue versus the branches, and not so much because of Bink saying stop. Sylvester has had a lovely moment pulling a branch off of Hans's shoulder and saying, "And I helped," and has pleaded with Bink to let us know about the traps. And then everyone is sneaking with Hans like bringing himself, like the only thing he's doing to make himself harder to see is making himself shorter. He's not any quieter. He's not any, like, not moving any smoother. He's literally just shorter and harder to see. Yeah, as you guys continue down the path.
It's like slowly falling behind because he's like trying to sneak, but he's still like hitting all the bushes and everything, and like still clearing a path just like 3 feet instead of 5 feet.
Sylvester would be trying to ignore the thundering herd behind, and would love to roll perception on an ongoing basis.
Go ahead and give me a check. Go ahead and give me a check right now for your perception for the next leg of your journey.
21.
Oh God.
21?
Yeah.
About 10 minutes down the road, you see in front of Bink a an unnatural appearing section of ground, which you pretty much immediately determine is likely some kind of like camouflaged pit.
Will
Is
Bink do this on her own or no?
Roll me a perception. Well, what's your? Yeah, roll me a perception check for giggles.
Would perception for trap finding?
Yeah, because it's trap.
Okay. Oh, also, t-shirt designs are in the Discord.
Sick. Look at them in a minute.
Okay. 19.
That is enough for Bink also to notice it, but due to Sylvester's higher roll, he notices it first. So, are you going to call this out, Sylvester?
What?
Are you like
What?
making little frog noises?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going like, wow. And I was like, wow, what? What's about to happen?
no,
Are you going to have a moment?
He's
He
making Bink's
cannot do it.
noises back at her. That's great.
Does,
But he's trying to
does
communicate.
Bink recognize this as someone? Because, like,
Tell you what. Sylvester, roll me a performance check, please.
Because, like, I imagine that Bink has probably gotten this before where people will rip it at her since most humans cannot speak Ripley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and Sylvester would have no chance at all. But did roll a 16 on the performance, so did his best.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's not saying anything, but, like, Bink has
Wait,
experienced...
can he say something? Can he say something obscure? Like, he got one word correct, and it's like, what the fuck did he say?
The accent is right. It's like he's saying gibberish, but he's saying it in, like, the correct... Like, you've gotten humans who just look at you and they're like, ha ha, ribbit, ha ha, which is, like, obviously way off. You know, he, like, got down deep in his throat and, like, tried... Like, it's about as close to... You know, the kind of noise that your language is as a half elf can produce.
You mean as a Gripply can produce?
No, because he produced it.
Oh, okay.
As a half, it's as close as a half elf can produce. It's still nonsense, but it's like if you heard it like through the forest, you'd like turn your head and be like, "Who's talking Gripply?" You know?
Is it grandmother?
It's not a word. It's just.
No, that's what I'm imagining. She hears it in the distance, and it's like, Grandma? Like, you picked up Grandma's voice, like, exact.
Oh, no.
But Bink hearing this is going to, like, very astutely just turn and be like, what the fuck? Like, the look on her face, even though she's a frog, it translates to, because there is, like, either there's a giant frog, or there's a Gripply nearby, and it's one of them, and she's looking back, and then she sees freaking Sylvester, and she's kind of, like, not gonna lie, a little impressed. Like, this would be, like, the equivalent of me, a white girl who can barely speak Spanish, like, pulling out a full-on perfect accent, and she's impressed. You called it a taco and not a teco.
Sylvester is going to completely misread that facial expression and go, "Ooh, sorry."
Wait, what'd you say?
Ooh, sorry.
But like sucking the air through the teeth, you know, like
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of, did I just say like a slur?
Yeah, like
right, because like I said, Bink knows that Sylvester didn't say anything. Sylvester does not know that Sylvester didn't say anything.
Anyway, she's looking at him and she's waiting for something. And she's like,
all right. There's gonna be a hand motion of, you know, pointing in front of you, and then do the finger across the throat and do the tongue out, going Leh.
Ah, yes.
and Bink's gonna kind of look, and she's gonna see the trap. And is there a way to dismantle that kind of trap, or no?
No, you can pull the cover off. You can expose the pit, is what you can do.
Okay, she's gonna expose the pit.
Yeah. and you guys see a pit uh, that's about 6 feet wide, 10 feet deep, but only the width or the length of a couple of feet, and oh wow, there's not even spikes at the bottom of it. It's literally just a pit, but it's deep.
Boring.
It's a deep pit.
They go crazy.
Boring.
I don't write the traps. I'm reading out of a book. My pit would have had spikes and poison and zombies.
And then if you got out, bitches. No.
Oh man. So you guys are able to make your way around, like skirt around the edge of the pit. Upon further examination, like the trail does, like kind of snake around, and it's obvious that like little footprints have, walked around this pit in the future. But you guys walk past that pit, you continue moving, and in front of you stands, you can see a like break in the tree line, and you know that the trail is about to lead out of the forest for the first time in about an hour, a little over an hour. And we are going to pick up right there after a 5-minute break because I got to pee.
Oh my goodness.
So it is 8:08. We'll be back. We'll call it like 8:15, maybe before, and we'll pick up from there. I just got to pee, so I'll be back in just a few.
Sounds good.
All right, be back.
We got the t-shirt designs and we got the sneaky shoes.
Sneaky
Yeah, if you go into memorable moments, you can see Art, who at one point had lost a bet, and Mary got to do like drag makeup on him, saying, "Please, please, can we go in the tent?" And then a drawing of Mary running away after getting caught doing something and running like the wind.
I love these. These are great.
Yeah, this is there's been a long and rich history of our main campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. There's been a lot of memorable moments and silliness. But
Oh yeah.
let me make sure all my stuff is unmuted. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. I
And
am
now
ready to
we're
start.
gonna get t-shirts.
Is yeah. I can't believe it's actually going to happen. Is Andres here?
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make. He's being quiet. He's being a quiet boy. Okay. You guys see a break in the tree line ahead of you. Bink is still leading the party. Do you guys want to interact with each other before you break out of the forest?
Sylvester would pause and do like the military style hold up, make a fist kind of thing, which Bink would not be able to see.
Yep. Hans, are you responding to this stopping, or
Yeah,
are you just bumping into him?
I think he's probably gonna bump into him and then stop.
Little bull. I love it.
Sylvester will just simply clear his throat and keep looking directly ahead.
Bink probably can hear Sylvester clear his throat.
Bink is just keep going. She's just sneaking.
Cool. She's about 50 yards from the tree line.
Sylvester would stop at the tree line unless otherwise probed, just to see what's out there.
Cool. Then I will start with Bink. Give me 1 second. Since Bink is just waltzing on ahead, if I have done this correctly, you guys should see a map with like a forest on one side and like a clearing on the other with a river running down it. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
And
a bunch of blackness, right? Okay, great. So you guys all have your own tokens, so please move them and place them in one of these 4 tiles right here. And if you want to point at something on the map, it is holding the right click. I'm drawing silliness. You guys will have to relabel yourselves, so please remember to do that as well. Network, I'm just catching this. Turned around on what my most regular viewer had posted, apparently when we started a while ago. I missed it. Turned around on horse corpses sounds so very wrong. Which, I guess it does. Okay. Now.
At least he didn't put his foot through a horse corpse, so.
That's true. That's a truth fact.
Gross.
Okay, here we go. After following the goblin's trail, you come across a large cave in a hillside 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. A shallow stream flows out of the cave mouth, which is screened by dense briar thickets, which is these guys here. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right-hand side of the stream. So Bink, because you broke the fence line first, or the tree line first, you're able to see that it opens up to a clearing, and you're able to see this stream and this cave opening ahead of you. Because she's just sneaking ahead, eventually Sylvester gets to the tree line and is able to look out and is greeted with this same view and can see Bink like making her way. She's like shrunk down and is like slinking along the tall grass, just like forward.
Heading towards the cave then?
I assume.
yeah, Bink is going to. Can she get in the water?
Absolutely, Bink can get in the water. It's 20 feet off to your right, so you'll have to like walk to the coast and just plop yourself
Yeah,
in.
she's gonna sneak in and try to will that break her sneak trying to swim in the water? Like a frog?
I don't think it does for you. I don't think it does for you because you are an aquatic creature. Well, an amphibious creature technically, but
Semi-aquatic, but not really.
yeah. So,
Kind of.
yeah, I will in this particular instance. I will judge that you can keep your stealth roll. Tell you what, roll me It's a shallow stream, but roll me a general swim check, and assuming
Okay.
you don't completely flub swimming, you should be able to maintain your stealth.
Okay.
That seems fair.
Come on, roll dice. 16?
Yeah, you are you can maintain your stealth roll, and you are creeping along the bottom of the shallow stream, which honestly probably doesn't even have enough water in it for the other two guys to properly swim. You just happen to be, hopping from large smooth stone behind a fallen log under a lily pad. It's just enough water for 1.5 foot Bink.
So unless Hans wants to, or it gives indication he wants to go past the tree line, Sylvester will hang at the tree line, and if this is what he was assume it is, which would be a goblin cave of sorts, would be on the lookout for any sort of movement or any indication of sentries.
From the tree line, you don't see any sign of that on this side of the river. But your view of the other side of the river is extremely obscured by the dense briars.
Understood. Well, he says to Hans, old chap, what do you think?
The river goes into the forest, correct? So we could technically cross it while still in the forest.
Yeah, if you look off to your right hand side, now that you see the stream and you're looking for it, because it's a shallow stream, but you do find it. Yeah, you could cross it on the forest side.
Could we split up as a possibility to go left and right?
Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. You guys have no means of communicating as of now. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. But if you split up, it'll be harder to communicate. Is the only thing.
Understood.
And Bink's already gone. As far as I'm concerned, Bink is making her way up the stream.
Yeah.
Making her way downtown, swimming fast.
Yeah.
This is past and she's homebound.
Well, she's sneaking, so she's moving at half her movement speed because she's got to move slow to sneak. So it is gonna, and you're going against the current. So I figure this is not a particularly easy deal. But you rolled successfully on your swim, so you'll be able to make it. It's just slow going.
Yeah.
Hans and Sylvester.
Just gonna turn to Sylvester and kind of pointing that the entrance to the cave is on the other side of the stream. Let's get on the other side of the stream. That would try and sneak up and get as close as we can without being spotted.
Good form, old chap. Lead the way.
And Hans is gonna do this as he turns around and he's still trying to sneak, so but he still manages to run over an entire bush.
Yeah, because this sneak is not great.
But I'm assuming they make it across over here without incident or anything.
Yeah, you guys should be able to make it over there. No big deal. You guys are just close enough that I have to read stuff. Yeah, super not a big deal at all. Bink, are you at any point looking behind you? Or are you just moving ahead?
No, she's swimming.
By the time they make it over there, we'll say they've moved 20 feet to the river, and then another, looks like 10 feet in. And it's all difficult terrain for both of you guys, so your movement would be the same. So that's 20. So Bink, you are pretty much at the mouth of the cave at this point.
Okay.
But you can't really see a whole lot because you're in the stream.
Yeah. She's just gonna keep swimming. Does the stream go into the cave?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just keeps swimming.
Oh, okay. Hans and Sylvester, what are you guys doing?
He's gonna like turn so much like, do you see Bink?
I've lost track. I dare say she's gone inside.
All right, let's keep going forward. See if we can get a good idea and see what's happening there. Because Goblin Cave or not, I don't particularly trust cave systems.
Understood. So probably a less sneakier sneak, since we've lost track of our friend. We want to get in there relatively quickly.
I don't know. Art, that's a question for you and Hans first.
It's already not very sneaking. Not going very sneaking.
Okay, so you guys break stealth to start moving towards the cave mouth, and you get to the tree line, and no. Oh, that's right. They don't have any. And you spot 2 goblins, like leaning on their weapons. One of them is smoking a pipe, and they are clearly sentries of some kind, and also equally clearly not doing their fucking jobs. However,
What's a sentry?
like a guard, like a
Okay.
stationary guard, rather than
I
a
only know
guard
about
who's.
it in terms of gear.
Yeah. A sentry is a guard who stands in one place compared to somebody who's like on a patrol. And I guess you could technically have a sentry on a patrol. Anyway, so you guys find 2 goblins who are obviously supposed to be on some sort of guard duty, shirking their duty. However, you have specifically chosen to break your sneak to move quickly, which causes you to make your noise as you work through the underbrush. You see the goblins. The goblins see you. Nobody is surprised. Roll initiative checks for me, please. Bink, roll me a perception check. And since there's only 2 of them, I can give them their own initiative orders. I don't usually do that. But...
regular perception or trap finding?
Regular perception.
Okay.
And your initiative...
19.
I don't know if it was in other dice in older versions of the game, but it's a d20 plus your initiative. Everybody who plays with a d10, and I don't know if that's like his homebrew thing or if that's like an old culture thing or what, but...
It's a different system. I can't remember what it was called, but there was the D10 system at one point.
Yeah, I like d20, especially because the more players you get, if you're only rolling a d10, like people get the same number a lot more often, and a d20 just makes it more likely that people are... I almost want people just to roll percentile dice. That way, you know, there's a very slim chance of 2 people getting the same number. But what are your totals, guys?
19.
Okay, Hans?
13 for initiative.
And Sylvester?
10 for initiative.
10 for initiative, and then I've got G1 and G2, who are...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, bollocks. That's a 15. Sorry, I didn't add the
No, you're
multiplier.
good. You're good. I trust me, this has been going... I know we're about to start our first combat, but this is going smoother mechanically than I thought it was going to go. So this is great. You're fine. If that's the worst that happens, we're good.
We'll see.
Okay, Bink, what was your perception check?
19.
Okay, sounds good. 19 was your perception, or 19 was your... Oh, you didn't have roll initiative. You rolled perception.
Yeah.
That's right. Let me make a note here. Perception. So, okay, so I've described this. Nobody is surprised by each other. Now, talking is always free. So I need to know what Hans and Sylvester are going to do once they react to seeing these goblins. Before we start the battling process itself, just because Bink is not actually in on the battle right now.
You gonna do anything, bud?
Gonna turn towards Sylvester, pull out his axe, and then just ask him kill him.
Right. Sylvester, without breaking eye contact with the goblins, will say "bollocks" under his breath and grab his rapier and hand crossbow and try and fire the hand crossbow as soon as possible.
Okay.
So yes, here we go.
Which will be on your turn, and you actually rolled highest for initiative order. So
thank
go ahead and roll your attack. So D20 plus your modifier to hit on your hand crossbow, which you might have to go in and manually equip depending on what nonsense Pathfinder did with you since you last saved.
Yeah, thankfully it looks like it kept me with the crossbow. Sorry, quick.
And then I guess I want to know goblin on the left or goblin on the right.
Goblin on the left is the one that's directly in front of me.
That's G1. That's it. That's the one.
So 23.
That's going to hit. Roll your damage. I know I do have to go find the stupid fucking goblins in the book, figure out what their stuff is. Yeah, okay.
Good. Okay, D4. That's what I thought. And it's just a straight D4, right?
It should say on the weapon itself. It'll be a D whatever plus whatever, and it should be right above where you saw it said plus your modifier to hit.
Yeah, I had to go back and look at the damage on the actual item in my inventory that says a D4.
Yeah, Pathfinder scales by size, though, so it might be a D4 for small and a D6 for medium. It's a hand crossbow?
It's just a hand crossbow.
And
Do you have it equipped?
I do.
Or do you have the rapier equipped?
Oh, there it is. Ha! Scroll down, Evan. Excellent. Well done.
Yeah, I do have a D4 for medium, so yeah. So it is a D4 plus your... I don't know if it's strength or dex. It'll say on your character sheet.
I've taken the necessary feats and the prereqs, so I add my dex instead of my strength. Plus, it would be dex, not strength, as it's a crossbow, not a long, whatever. 5.
5 damn?
Yeah.
Okay. That is G1 taking 5 damage. The goblins look up more for hearing you than seeing you, and you can see their eyes scanning the tree line. And you take aim and fire, and your bolt flies out from the tree line. You watch both of them zero in on exactly where you and Hans are. But unfortunately for the goblin closest to you, that barrel or that arrow comes and buries itself solidly in his chest, and he shrieks in pain, which Bink hears faintly under the water. She can identify it as a scream of some sort from a small creature, and it's not from one of her companions. And she can identify it came from the right side of the bank somewhere.
If she very lightly stick her eyes out and look around and see where she is, because she's in the cave now, right?
She's almost in the cave. You're in the mouth of the cave.
Can she open her eyes and look and try to see how far she could see in with her? I want to see what kind of vision she has. Give me un momento. Her dark vision, 60 feet.
Roll me an initiative roll, and we'll get you in after Sylvester's turn. And whenever we come up to you on turn order, we'll start doing that stuff.
Okay.
Sylvester, you have fired an arrow. It has landed on G1 and is sticking out of this goblin's chest, who is shrieked and alerted. The second goblin is sprung up to his feet and pulled out a crossbow of his own. He's like pointing it at the fence line or at the tree line towards you. You've used your standard action, and you still have your move action, if you like.
Okay, so not dead. Guessing mortally wounded.
Not dead. Wounded. Not dead.
Okay. Let's see. Not gonna move quite yet, or can I hold the move action and get over to this general area as I look at Hans and say the other one's yours?
Do you want to hold the action, or do you want to just move? Because you should be able to move along even the difficult terrain of the tree line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What's your move speed? 30 feet? 30 feet?
Yeah.
You can get there even with the difficult terrain of the forest if you wanted to stay in the tree line and move around. You have enough movement to do that for sure.
Okay.
So
I'll move.
You'll move. Okay, great. So if you moved, the other thing that you get to do in your turn, should you like, is checks. If there's anything you want to do a perception check on, which is most common, but you could do sometimes somebody tries to intimidate something or, you know, like use one of your skills in some way, hop over a table, that kind of thing. You get a couple of those in a round as well. So if you ever
Nice.
want to do something like that, please let me know.
Can I throw an intimidation check and just scream "Hep" at you?
At which goblin?
Would be the one that I just wounded.
That makes sense to me, but I gotta hear you say it. Yeah, absolutely. Roll an intimidation check.
Yay. 21.
That's a pretty solid roll. This goblin is, he like clutches the arrow in his chest and like looks up near the tree line where he heard you holler "have at you," and you watch him just like, terrified, like scan the tree, and he like shouts something at Goblin at the tree line, or it shouts something in Goblin at the tree line. Does either Hans or Sylvester speak Goblin?
Nope.
It's only a good old common.
Then you guys cannot hear what it is that is shouted. Sylvester, will that end your turn?
That does end my turn. Thank you.
Cool, no big deal. Bink, what's your initiative roll?
Natural 20.
That is enough to put you at the top of the order. So what I'm gonna do is
plus
because it doesn't matter for my guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have you take your turn now, and then you're going to start us off on the next round.
Okay.
So you wanted to pop your head out of the water and look into the cave, correct?
Yes. And he has 60-foot dark vision.
Okay, roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. 19.
You are able to see that the stream continues into the cave and that it appears to, and I think it appears to open up on the right hand side, and there appears to be some kind of there's a low set of stairs and then some kind of room or chamber off to the right, as well as continuing up this main channel deeper. So you've got a room over here, and then you've got stuff up here.
By chance, would she have heard what the goblin screamed or no?
Not from underwater, no. She would have heard the scream, but not what was screamed.
Okay. With that, Bink is going to can she crawl out right here so she's sneaking up behind them?
I'm sorry, point again?
Can she crawl? Oh, hold on. Yeah. Right here. Sneak up, get up here, and sneak in behind the goblin.
Yeah, you want to start using your movement as of, this tile?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll say you use your free 5-foot step to get out of the water, and then you can start using movement from there. So it only takes you 5 feet to get. So you will need to use a little bit of your movement to get there.
Yeah.
But you can get adjacent to G1. and take a sneak attack on him because he has no fucking idea you're there.
Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can use any feats while I'm here. Dun, dun, dun,
I don't even think he
dun.
can detect you with a sneak roll of 30, to tell you the honest truth. So,
Oh. Okay, yeah, she's just gonna do a sneak attack with one of her daggers.
okay.
So,
You still have to roll your attack as normal.
let me find my dice. Does a 16 hit?
That does hit.
Okay.
So roll your. It should be 1d6 for sneak attack and your normal damage for your normal damage die.
Okay, 1d6.
You should get another one
5.
next level at level 4.
And then would I roll a d4 because I don't have a d? They don't give me a d3.
Yeah, roll a d4. Because it's a d3 plus 1, right?
It's a d3.
Or d3 plus a number.
D3 plus my dexterity.
Yeah,
So it's.
yeah.
I rolled a 4. So
Pathfinder is unnecessarily cruel towards smaller sizes by making them do less damage with melee weapons. So yeah, go ahead and roll a d4.
Okay, I rolled the d4. I got a 4 on that, plus a 4 for my dexterity, so that's an 8, plus the 5 from the sneak attack, which is 13.
You get to murk the shit out of this goblin.
Oh, I get to kill it?
Yes, you do.
Okay, for funsies, okay, I know this is more flavor, but can, Bink stab his heart out from the, backside?
You can stab tactically where his heart is, and
Oh, no.
you
Okay,
know.
she's just gonna slit its throat.
Alright, yeah.
She got kind of very you know when someone slits the throat, how it is literally ear to ear, but if you go deep enough, you can hear the bone nick.
Yeah, yeah. Tell you what, I will give you an option.
Okay.
You can either do this, and then I'll let you roll an intimidation check on G2, or you can specifically do it silently, and I'll let you stay in stealth.
I will do it silent.
Okay.
For funsies. So yeah, she's gonna slit his throat just ear to ear.
This is very obvious to Sylvester and Hans. You just see like a flash of blue, and then a flash of steel, and then dark
no, not
red.
even steel. Her daggers are made
They're
from
bone, aren't they?
Yeah.
A flash of ivory, and then just dark red goblin blood starts like oozing out of this goblin's neck down his fucking torso over the his arms still clutching the arrow in his chest, and his knees just buckle and he just fucking crumples.
Haha! Favorite color.
Bink is going to just finger up to mouth, point towards G2, and do the slicing of the throat, like the movement you make, and then point back to herself. So I kill that. And then can she just mouth the word distract?
You can, but unless these guys have specifically picked up lip reading as a language, they're not going to be able to understand you.
She'll do it anyway, flavor.
And you guys just see Bink gumming at you.
Sounds like a really high perception check, untrained.
Perception or knowledge or...
Would it be linguistics?
Linguistics is for sure what it would be. Do you have a linguistics skill?
I do not have a linguistics skill.
Then you can do an untrained linguistics skill, my man.
Will I get any bonuses?
None.
None. Well, then
sorry.
Then a 13 it is.
13. Bink says like act with tact, or I like a shack, or
McDonald's is a hack.
Yeah, or potions are a hack. You're not really sure. There's something in there. Something in that spectrum.
It has act in it.
I believe Sylvester would yell, I love shacks too, in the general direction of that goblin.
Yeah, that's enough to get G2's attention for sure. Because from his perspective, everybody else is just like in the tree line or sneaking. So for sure, you've got G2's attention. Okay, but it is Bink's turn. You have a little bit of movement left, Bink, if you want it.
Can Bink position herself behind G2 or get to begin the movement of positioning herself behind him?
You can move to this tile and
Yeah.
like press yourself against the rock and try and stay hidden but nearby.
Okay. Can she do any perceptions or is she done?
You've got one because you did one perception check up the cave mouth, but you get 2 in a turn. So
Okay.
no, did you intimidate? No, you didn't intimidate.
No, I did.
No, yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna do a perception check on G2 to see if he's injured at all.
I won't I won't even make you roll. He does not look injured.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's hope the other 2 fuck him up before Bink comes in. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So that was Bink and Sylvester. G1 didn't even get a fucking turn. G2 had pointed his crossbow at the tree line, and I'm going to say that Hans is who he was able to pick out earlier, but then Sylvester hollered at him, and he had to turn, easily found Sylvester within the tree line, and went ahead and took a shot at him with a crossbow of his own, rolled extremely highly. That's a 22 to hit on Sylvester.
Ooh, that's smarts.
But since Sylvester is in the tree line, he has partial cover from the trees. So the way that I run partial cover, it doesn't even mean anything unless the shot hits. Obviously, because who cares if the shot misses? If the shot does hit, then I roll percentile die, and partial cover gives you a 20% chance of the arrow like embedding itself in a tree instead of embedding it in you. So before I even roll damage, I'm going to see if it hits, which it does, and then despite the cover. And then his bow does a whopping. That's pretty high. 7 damage. 7 piercing damage. Yes. 7 piercing damage to Sylvester as an arrow, as a goblin arrow. The short, crudely crafted, black feather ended arrows you see flying at you, which embeds in your own shoulder, and suddenly you feel a pang of sympathy to the goblin whom you hit just a moment ago.
Oh, sweet irony!
Then the goblin's going to step forward into the briar and do his best to take cover for himself against Sylvester and Hans. Which brings us to... Oh, he's also going to yell as loud as he can in Goblin. Does Bink speak Goblin?
That she does. In response.
Constitution is 0. That is...
Oh, sorry, Dave. I couldn't do a burp in response.
Oh, that's okay. You hear the Goblin 2 just yell, "Warning! Warning! Intruders! Intruders!" Just as loud as he can, which is pretty loud for a goblin, but not super loud. And I gotta roll a couple more perception checks. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, so that is it for his turn, which brings us to Hans. What's up, bud? What are you doing?
Is going to barrel forward 5 feet, hand in both hands, and he's gonna swing for Goblin 2.
Cool. Yep. Partial cover does nothing against melee attacks, so you just give it an attack roll, my friend.
17 to hit.
That is going to hit him. Roll your damage.
Minimum damage. 5.
He's ouchied. As you have an axe, as you cleave into him, and you nearly separate his right leg entirely. He howls in pain and clutches his leg in one hand, and then clutches his hand crossbow in the other, pointing it menacingly at you.
He's going to do an intimidate at him. If he's pointing the crossbow, I think this flavor bit, but he's just gonna grab the barrel and point it away, but it's basically an intimidate check.
Yeah, roll an intimidate check.
Ah, shoot.
Did you say cashew?
Shoot.
I heard shoot.
I heard
Total of 17.
cashew.
As Hans goes to grab the crossbow and and move it away, the goblin, you feel the goblin resisting, and he's like intense arm wrestle style, sweating and pushing and pulling back on the crossbow, trying to point it back at you, and he's sweating. He's definitely sweating. Is that it, Hans?
Yeah, that'll be it for Hans.
Great. Brings us back to the top, which is Bink.
Binkalicious. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. Where the goblin at? Can she get into a sneak attack, get behind G2?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's looking at Hans. He's not worried about you.
And is this also considered flanking or no?
No, if you move one square to Bink's left, you will be flanking. You got to be on the exact opposite tile.
Oh, if I did that, would that add anything, double sneak or no?
No, because you already have sneak. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, then no. Bink is going to do a sneak attack.
Sweet. Roll to see if you hit. Normally.
Okay. I know I have an 8 modifier. 18 doesn't hit.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah, okay. And I just gonna do my 4 first, roll to 3, plus my 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. That's a 7. And then what do I roll as my bonus?
It's a single D6 at this level.
Okay. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Don't worry about counting it. Goblins don't have very many hit points. He's super dead. You're fine.
Yay! She is gonna slit his throat again.
Yeah, your party's doing a great job distracting these goblins, and Bink is doing a great job staying quiet and dispatching them.
Goblin.
Look at you guys working like a team. Okay, both of the goblins have been relatively quietly dispatched, and you guys are now back in free action.
Bink is going to look at them and say, "They called for more. Hide bodies."
Sylvester is going to hastily grab a body and stash it somewhere.
Just going to grab the one and walk into the forest and just throw it 20 feet into the brush.
Okay, Bink, while the boys are hauling these goblins off, what are you doing?
She's making a perception check to see if she can see anything that would call attention if someone walked in here, like blood, maybe a weapon, or an arrow that got hit something, something like that.
Yeah, roll a perception check for sure.
Okay, dirty 20.
You can see a huge puddle of blood where G1's body was, especially because he sat there crumpled in a ball for a minute while the rest of the battle took place. G2, Hans got to him pretty fast, and there's brush and stuff that you can turn over and kind of cover the blood there. But your big problem is the big spot of blood out in the open where G1 died.
Okay, hold on, can she do Would a dungeoneering knowledge check, like, maybe give her something on, like, how to hide blood?
Roll me a check.
For dungeoneering?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank the Lord. Okay. 27.
She remembers that there's a stream nearby with water in it. Water's good for cleaning things.
Oh, wait, she has a flask. Can she just use her flask that she has with water in it?
Absolutely.
Okay, she's just gonna pour a flask on it.
Yeah, her flask does a pretty good job, but it'll need a little bit more water if she wants to totally, like, you got like a goblin's worth of blood here, like, you know.
Yeah, Bank is gonna look, can whoever is closest to her, I guess, and just go,
Bink is alone.
give flask
the boys
water.
the boys are hauling. They're still dragging these bodies. It takes them a minute.
Okay, Bank is gonna, would she be able to just get the water from the stream and run back really quick before they even get back?
They will come back to you pouring your second flask of water out on.
Okay,
this
yeah, she's
spot.
gonna be doing that then.
Sylvester and Hans, are you going to like do anything else? Or are you just pitching these bodies in the forest and coming back?
Generally hiding under brush, branches, leaves, anything like that.
So Sylvester is specifically still not breaking tree line.
Right.
Or are you hiding your body under brush and branches?
Hiding the body under brush and branches.
Got you. Hans, what are you doing with yours?
He just walked like 30, 40, however long quickly, however long for the brush start getting like thick, and just like tossed it in a bush.
Classic.
He done ragdolled him.
Sweet. Then you guys come back and you see Bink like upturning her flask of water on like it's not dark red, it's more of like a pink kind of hue. Like she's obviously like pouring water over the fresh blood stain.
Bink is gonna sniff the ground, because, like, if it's lighter now where maybe it's not noticeable as blood, she's gonna sniff it and see if it still smells like goblin blood.
Faintly, distinctly, for sure.
In response to this, can Bink pee on it?
Yeah, for sure. Sylvester and Hans are seeing Bink pouring out her flask, bending down, sniffing the ground, and now she is unbuttoning her breeches.
Oh no, Bink is wearing, like, loincloth, nothing underneath.
Bink is squatting over the ground and urinating on top of it. You cut out?
Get cold.
Just turns around for privacy.
Sylvester does not, but just stands there gawking, surprised more than anything.
What did someone put in the chat?
Network said, Commando!
Oh, hell yeah.
In response to your loincloth comment.
I kind of assume Bink is basically, like, androgynous frog body situation, so why is she wearing underwear?
That's more than fair. I just,
Because frogs' genitals are mostly internal.
Yeah, you know what? I'm here for it, and I get it. I have not had a Gripply in any of my campaigns before, so you'll have to excuse me as I learn frog anatomy here as we.
There's
go
no
through,
frog titties.
There's no frog. They're not mammals.
Okay. You never know. People argue about it.
I know. I've seen the great lizard folk debate on Reddit.
Would there be titties, and if so, are they ear sac?
Yeah. It's a whole deal. But these bodies are now in the forest, covered in brush, and you guys have reconvened, presumably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Outside the cave.
Yeah. Sylvester is doing his best to do a quick bandage or something on his wound.
Still put an arrow in there? Did he pull it out himself?
Yeah, it's gonna have to come out.
Seeing this, Bink is gonna be nice. He's gonna hop over to him and try to perform a heal check to help him get the arrow situated. You
Yeah,
distracted him.
I mean, you can do it for flavor. So, learning moment, I guess. Heal check. Your heal skill is pretty exclusively tied to stabilizing a character who has gone down, and it's a way for non-casters to be able to be useful if a teammate goes down. You go and you perform a heal check to try to stabilize them.
Right.
In an instance like this, you have one of a couple options to regain. Like if your ultimate goal is to regain hit points, you could do one of a few things. You can cast a spell to regain hit points. You can drink a health potion to regain hit points. You can spend 1 hour taking a short rest and spend any number of hit die up to your level, which is 3 for you guys, to regain that many hit points, and you'll regain half of those hit die at the next of your long time of your long rest. You can take a long rest to regain all your hit points, or no, that's it. Those are the ways you get hit points back. So, like, if Bink wants to do a heal check, it'll be for flavor, but I'll super let it happen.
Yeah, it's more of a bandage to kind of like
What if? Okay, how if she rolls really good, what's gonna happen?
You're going to your best case scenario, your natural 20 scenario here is that you are able to, gingerly and nearly effortlessly and painlessly remove the arrow, and Bink has is able to identify a nearby moss which she chews and applies as a painkiller / antibiotic, and aid Sylvester in bandaging it. And
I'm so pissed off.
You know what I
rolled
mean?
a natural 20.
So there you go. It's very tender and ginger and caring. It's way more painless than you expect it to be, and like Sylvester, I'm assuming, has suffered wounds in the past, and like this does not ache as much as a normal puncture wound is supposed to ache, and you're like feeling surprisingly good for having an arrow in you only a moment ago.
It's froggy juice.
Oh, good show. Well, now that we've dispatched those foes, I suppose it would have been good to know who's inside the cave. But perhaps a bit more sneaking. What say you, chaps?
Bink is gonna go river inside, cave to the right.
Cool.
I believe I'm going to look like a small boulder moving through that river, but I give it my best. Looking at the river, it's probably what?
It's
maybe
like
3 feet?
it's like up to your knees, maybe somewhere between your knee and your thigh. Let's put it this way: if you were wearing chino shorts, them shorts would be dry.
What are chinos?
They're shorts that are cut above the knee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So regular
Quite short shorts.
Like 70s shorts, basically. A little bit longer than 70s shorts.
Not basketball shorts.
No.
Dad shorts.
Dad shorts is a great way to put it, yeah.
Dad shorts, there we go.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, in discussion, tactically, we could send Little Blue up the river while Hans and I kind of go along the trail sneakily to see who else might be around. This is a cave. Who God knows how big it is, and whoever is in there. But we're supposed to find a dwarf. That's the ultimate goal.
Fully.
Cool
Yes.
beans. So he's ready to go with hand crossbow and rapier. Hans, do you have any weapons of range? One would say.
Roll this hard enough, it becomes a weapon of range.
That is the most barbarian response to that question I could possibly imagine. Tell you what, Hans, do you have any inspiration? Because you should take it for that answer. You should take it for that answer. That was a good one.
Nice.
Oh,
I
man.
knew it. I was like, he's gonna get inspiration for that one.
Evan, I don't know what your familiarity is with inspiration, or if we even play it the way that it used to be played. You can only keep one inspiration at a time. It is granted by your dungeon master. Um, I specifically have a tendency to grant it for like commitment to role playing, really good comments that I believe your character would make,
Yeah.
or for making the tough choice where you specifically do something that is not tactically advantageous because
Yeah.
it's what your character would do. Like I'll grant you inspiration for that, and then just like occasionally working as a team, being particularly like cooperative, I'll grant it for that. So like this Hans's response of like, if I throw this hard enough, it becomes a ranged weapon. I'm like, that's a barbarian ass response. Congratulations, so you have inspiration. So now Hans has after he makes the roll, but before I announce what the results are, he can re-roll a check anywhere at any point in time. An attack, a skill check, a saving throw, whatever. But he only gets one, and he has to do it before I tell him what happens. But if he rolls a nat 1 on a death save, and he's like, I have inspiration, I'm going to re roll that, he can do that before I tell him, what happens, kind of thing.
Awesome.
So it's a fun little reward for staying in character and for doing stuff in character. Anyway, so there you go. Hans has inspiration. It's a great response. Sorry for derailing the game for a minute. Hans has just replied that if he throws his axe hard enough, it becomes a ranged weapon.
I believe you, dear boy. Well, shall we?
Yeah. As he tries to mimic the accent.
You guys have been in combat. Anybody wanting to go undetected will have to roll back into stealth.
Okay, Bink is gonna go sneaky.
Yeah, so is Sylvester.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Where's my sneak? Okay, it's 14. So, now I roll my dice. What did I get? 25.
Sick.
Only a 15 over here.
That's fine. You're not a rogue, so that's a pretty good non-rogue roll.
Yeah. Is a swashbuckler, what would that be considered? Because I know
they are a high dex class. They're closer to like a pirate than a rogue.
Yeah.
But they're like a duelist. They're like a fencer. Like have you ever played Soul Calibur?
I think I don't know.
So
wait, hold on. Let me look up Soul Calibur because I think I have.
It's a fighting game. You've referenced Mortal Kombat in the past, so I was trying to stay in that same.
I have played Soul Calibur. Yeah. Silver hair, big titties.
No, there's a character named Raphael. He's like a fancy boy who has like a rapier, and he does in like a fencing stance. Like he is a textbook swashbuckler.
Okay.
So Mister definitely has big titties. I don't know where he put them.
No, because it's Soul Calibur. There's a lady who wears like a very tight purple leotard outfit, and she has big titties.
Her name
and
is
like
Ivy,
silver hair,
and she has silver hair, and she has a whip, which like is a sword that like disarticulates and becomes
and it's
a
like
whip.
a middle. Like her haircut is like Draco Malfoy middle part.
Yeah.
But it's silver and like.
But it's also like high school art teacher at the same time. So, yeah, it's.
Yeah, no, cause I just remember because her titties are so huge, they would break her back, and I remember once in the game when I was playing it, a glitch happened and they kept moving up and down. Because the jiggle stick, it broke it, and they just we're talking like that. It's something. If a woman's boobs moved like that, they would break her neck from the impact.
There was a whole meme for the most recent Soul Calibur where technology has gotten to the point to where there's literally a set of code in the game that is like the boob jiggle code specifically, and there was like a whole meme fucking deal for a while. So yeah, I hear that. But circling back, he has a lot of flash. He's like flamboyant. He's very graceful. He's a high dex type character, so he will probably do decent on his stealth checks, even though he's not a rogue.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of points in stealth, so I've been kind of doing relatively good on the rolls. The book says it's a kind of a cross between a fighter and a gunslinger in those capabilities kind of thing.
Yeah. So
So it's duelist.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering, because I was like wondering what normally the classes end up turning into. It's a combination of blank and blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how this one works out too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've specifically moved so that everything is Dex and Charisma based.
Which is good because Bink is certainly not going to be talking to anybody, and Hans is not a super charismatic dude himself. So
yeah, well, Sylvester has a comedy of talking to himself and apparently goblin heads. So
yeah, I love it. On that note, Hans, are you even bothering to try to be stealthy?
He is. He rolled higher than he did last time.
Okay.
He rolled 8.
Oh, that's so fortunate of for
I
us.
found the big titty purple lady. Her name was Ivy Valentine.
I told you it was Ivy.
Yeah.
I played a shit ton of Soul Calibur, and that was my fighting game of choice. But
I was Mortal Kombat and Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely played some Mortal Kombat, but I could never memorize all the mortalities. I was much better at Soul Calibur. Anyway, okay. So you guys are standing outside of the hideout, in your sneaking mode, and Hans, as per the usual, is not very good at it.
He's trying to be up against the wall, lower his
Is he doing?
But he's scraping against the rock.
Is
that
he doing
ass
his own
too
theme
fat.
music?
Is he humming his own theme music to himself?
Yeah.
No, him hitting the rock is making the tune of the Pink Panther tune.
Please tell me that his ass is too fat and it's just squishing against the rock, and that's what's making the scraping noise. It's the dump truck.
And I love the visual of the dump truck as he stops and moves.
Yeah, but no, he's not just leaning flat.
As he slides across the.
Yeah, it's not even it's not he's leaning flat against the wall. He's doing that thing that Instagram baddies do where they arch their back so their butt looks bigger, and it's just scraping against the wall as he goes back.
Oh, because he's trying so hard to keep his back off the wall that
it's like a BBL.
That's great, Hans. You can retcon any of this you want, but the point being, you're making a little noise along that wall there.
It's coming from ass. It might be a 2. It might not.
Okay, so where were the other guys going? What are you guys doing?
Helping. That's my general setup. However you want to do it.
Bink is just kind of in the river, and she's wanting to get over. She wants to get over here and wait until the boys get right here.
Okay. That is
Another swim check.
not a problem. Yeah, it's for sure another swim check to see if you can maintain your stealth.
Does a 16?
Yeah, that'll maintain.
Okay.
That'll maintain.
I forgot what I got last time, and I was like, I hope I didn't get a 20.
You had an 18 last time, but a 16 is still good enough. And so Sylvester is leading Hans on the path.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Great. I have to pick up my little book here because now you guys are moving into the cave, and I got to see what's next.
Forget there's a book for this one.
Okay. As you all reach the entrance and begin moving up, Bink does not hear this specifically because she is moving underwater. But the other two, Hans and Sylvester, Just inside the cave mouth, a few uneven stone steps lead up to a dark, dank chamber on the east side of the passage. The cave narrows to a steep fissure at the far end and is filled with the stench of animals. Savage snarls and the sounds of rattling chains greet your ears. And as you enter, okay, um, it is obvious to Sylvester that the rock that he is sneaking up against, the rock face on the right here, ends and the space opens up. I'm assuming he's going to want to take a little peek.
Yes, please. Peeky too.
Inside, the source of the snarls is revealed, and you see 3 wolves chained up just inside the opening, and each wolf's chain leads to an iron rod driven into the base of this stalactite. No, stalagmite, I'm sorry.
Joy.
And I don't have wolf figures, so you guys get general beast figures.
There's Wolf.
Is there a wolf?
Yeah, lower.
There's a monstrosity. Got you. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Whoop. Ew. Okay, let me toss this. Toss this. They're chained up like this. They're supposed to be guarding this this deal here.
Well, they're doing.
But they appear, you Sylvester, you see their ears pricking up like they're snarling, and they definitely hear something, but nobody's made eye contact with you. You don't think it's you. You think that you've managed to make it through undetected, but they have been alerted by something.
Yeah, I'm gonna signal for a stop from Homeboy.
Oh, see, how late are we going tonight?
It's 9:16. We traditionally go to between 9:30 and 10.
Okay.
We can. I imagine that will end roughly at the end of the encounter with the wolves, unless you guys manage to sneak around them, in which case we'll just end it whenever we get to where we need to be.
Okay.
Okay, so Sylvester has signaled halt to Hans. How is Hans reacting?
Just like he bumps up.
Okay, but that's happened before. So Sylvester had an idea that Hans might be slamming into him, and had an opportunity to brace himself before impact, and does not get splayed in front of falling over in front of the wolves. That does not happen.
You are a kind God.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay, so Hans, do you have anything to say to Sylvester, or are you?
He's gonna look at him now. Now that he's got stuff.
Okay, and Sylvester, are you still holding up the stop fist?
I'm gonna turn around and do my best. Two fingers towards the eyes, thumb around the corner, and 2 hands making jaws as best I can. I was trying not to make any sounds, but I'm sure Hans can hear snarling and whatever.
Yeah, Hans for sure can hear snarling and whatever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna stop moving, and he's gonna be like...
So, can I do a perception or something to see how far the wolves might be able to stretch in that chain?
Yes, please roll me a perception check.
26.
They are. it looks like the length of their chain ends at the top of the stairs, but it's an old-looking chain.
So
Y'all gonna have to belly crawl
So
this.
basically, where they are is the length of their chain,
yeah,
but it's an old-looking chain.
yeah. Is there any if we do crawl, they're gonna be able to see fully down those stairs. They've got full perception as soon as they come around this corner.
Yeah, you are in the cover. You are in. The only reason they don't see Bink is because she is underwater and a small enough creature that she can press herself into the shallowness of the stream and cover her,
Understood.
scent.
Well, could I whisper to Hans?
Yeah. You guys aren't in combat yet. You guys are still in free action.
Okay. So I'm gonna whisper to Hans. See 3 wolves. Sure. As soon as we move.
And you actually, it kind of cutting out because it goes picking up that you were saying anything.
Huh?
It cut you out because I think it wasn't picking up that you were saying stuff.
Sorry, microphones.
Yeah.
So
In
he's
person,
whispering that he sees 3 wolves, and that if we move, they're definitely going to try and eat us. What do you want to do?
but like quietly.
In whisper mode.
Whisper mode activated. Han going to bring up his axe and be like, pointing like, you go, and like lifts up his axe like, oh, I'll take care of him.
Okay. So, being that Sylvester is already partially wounded out of this, we're going to try and do a combat roll to make room. How much space do I have between the river and this wall? Can Hans squeeze past me, or do I need to move?
These are 5-foot squares, and there's enough space for if you press yourself against the wall. There's enough room for you to let Hans pass.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and get a sneak attack or attack of opportunity on at least one of these wolves with the crossbow. The intention is to be able to do a combat roll out here, fire off a shot so that Hans can come screaming around the corner. That's my plan.
If that's your plan, then you can just move yourself into the next tile, which would be here, and roll me an attack roll with your crossbow, and then all 3 of you guys can roll me initiative because you're going to be back in combat. But you will, because they have not detected you, you will get a surprise round attack on the wolves. Or on the wolf of your choosing, I guess.
16 is the 2 hit.
Okay, I'm still pulling up the wolf stat block. Yeah, that's going to definitely hit. That'll be wolf 1. So go ahead and roll your damage.
That would be a 7.
That is, as your arrow lands in the neck of the wolf, and you watch it, blood profusely flow out of the wound. The wolf howls in pain, which you hear echoing off of the cavern walls. And he is still standing, but is definitely also wounded.
Yeah, definitely got no stealth in this combat situation. Good luck, buddy!
And I'm sorry, that was 7 damage on W1?
Yes, sir.
Great. I now need to know what everybody's initiative rolls were.
Let me see.
2.
Oh, awesome, Hans. You are just the most dexterous. 14 for Bink. Sylvester?
20.
20. I am going to roll
Tell me.
this,
Yeah.
that, and lost a die. That is, yeah. My wolves rolled horribly. Most of them anyway. So Sylvester gets to start us off.
Oh, thank God. So, character knowledge. I would have to reload that crossbow to get another shot off, right?
Yes, but you can sacrifice your. There's a feat which I highly suggest you pick up, which will eventually, if you're going to continue using a crossbow, which will allow you to basically reload it for free.
Yeah.
But you normally would have to take an action to reload your crossbow. However, I know that the other guys have crossbows in the other campaign. Have I ever once enforced? I don't think I've ever once enforced that. Made you guys reload a crossbow. Have I done that?
No.
Congratulations, bud. You just get to shoot again.
It's set. All right. Well, I'll switch to a sword because I would really like to use this rapier, but I'm a little wary of getting close to fangs and such.
Yeah.
So, to hit, that's a 21.
With your
Damage
rapier?
would be it would be 5.
On the second wolf? Or on the first wolf, I'm sorry?
Yeah, still going for.
Congratulations, bud. He's dead. How does he die?
Hopefully quietly. That's all I care.
Yeah. You can get him in the neck and cause his dying wailing howl to be more of a gurgle. That does not stop both of his compatriots from a grieving howl, which they both then immediately release quite loudly, which echoes off of the caves as well.
Yep.
And
We're bringing all of these goblins apparently upon us, so hope you like fighting retreats.
you guys are barely at the entry. You'll be fine, probably.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Anything else?
Can I intimidate the wolf?
You can certainly try.
Okay. I don't think I can intimidate these wolves. I don't care how smart they are, because I don't think a 12 is gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. You holler at these wolves and shake your fists violently and ferociously, and the two wolves that are still alive do not seem interested.
Yeah, that would be a sharp sit, followed by no response.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good luck, guys.
Cool. Oh no, not W2. W1 is dead. W2 is still very much alive. W1 is...
Ah, shit. We forgot to loot those goblin bodies.
Oops. No.
Get them on the way out.
I was about to say, you guys know right where you put him.
There you go.
Okay, it is. I actually rolled individual for these guys. Wolf 1 will never get his turn. Wolf 2, you see Wolf 2 like pull and yank on the chain, with the rod into the stone, and you watch as Wolf 2 like pulls with all of his might to try and chomp at Sylvester, and he can hear the as the metal groans against itself as he pulls at it, but for the moment it does appear to be holding him in place. And that's it for his turn, and then Bink is up.
Cool. Okay. So Bink is still in the river, and she's just going to stick just her eyes out and make a perception check to kind of see what's going on, where things are at, since she's like missed everything.
Well, I hear you. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
There are a couple of fine details in this, I guess. You will be able to see your buddies and the wolves kind of regardless.
Yeah.
We'll see what you get for your perception.
24.
You are also able to see that there is an old rusted chain which seems to be holding Wolf 2 and Wolf 3 to the stalagmite. And you got your head out of the water just in time to hear Wolf 2 and Wolf 3 howl in like their grievous tones at their fallen comrade.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all the information everybody else has, basically.
Okay. Response. What can Bink do at the moment? Bink can't really... She can't really do much without revealing herself, can she?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Bink could throw a dagger, but that's about all she could do from her present location.
Yeah, and plus I would take... Wait a second! The tongue dagger!
You got to get 10 feet away, so you'd have to move up the river a little bit and get Sylvester to move. But yeah, you could do that.
Could she still sneak?
Yeah.
Okay, she got a sneak. And then tongue dagger W2.
Okay, sounds good. Evan, just so you know, tongue dagger is in reference to Bink is a Gripply, and she has a tongue, and she has taken a feat specifically which allows her tongue to be used to grab things which weigh 5 pounds or less. So I have ruled that as long as she's attacking with a dagger, she can use the 10-foot reach on her tongue to do a dagger attack. A sword would be too heavy, but a dagger is light enough that it can extend her reach up to 10 feet if she, curls around the hilt of the dagger and, wham, attacks with it.
That's awesome. Is there any communication, or am I having to do a reflex check? Or
I was expecting her to move behind you in the water and to do this past you, but she stepped up next to you to do it. So no, you are good. Not where she moved. She moved somewhere I did not think she was going to.
Oh, I thought you meant I had to move up there. So
no. I was, because you could have done it from the water, which is still 10 feet away. But then your buddy is in between, and you got to holler at him to tell him to get out of the way.
No, she's just gonna get on the edge of the water bank, and then just do it from there.
Yeah, that'll be close enough. Okay, cool. So roll your attack if you haven't already.
Does an 18 hit?
That hits for sure.
Okay, and then D4. Plus 4, so 8 damage.
8 damage.
And then Bink's just gonna hop back in the water. Does she have to re-roll her swim or no?
No, because you no longer have a stealth stat to protect, so you...
Oh, can she roll back into stealth, or is she fucked?
No, but on that note, did you roll your sneak attack damage on W2?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah, you're out of stealth now, but you do get your sneak attack damage, because even though he's not flanked, you...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13?
Including your 8?
Including my 8, yeah.
Okay.
Or, well, that's including my 8. Can I even roll back into sneak, or I'm good? Or am I done?
You can at a minus 20 modifier. I don't think that's something you want to do.
Nah, she's just gonna... Can she just start, swimming up the bank?
She can, and... Yeah, that wolf is in pretty rough shape, W2. He is not... Grievously wounded is an understatement. Okay, and then where's Bink going?
She's just gonna, get up the... Hold on, let me just move the character. Try to go up over to, here, so the wolves can't see her from the wall.
You moved 5, 10, 15...
So from here to here.
5, 10, 15, 20... What's your move speed?
I think it's 20. Let me check. Walk is 30, climb is 20.
Yeah, then you're golden. You're fine.
Okay. And she's just gonna kind of, try to hide herself a bit. You know, she's not in sneak, but you know, she's not just like sitting in the water splashing or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, that's it.
W2 went. You went. W3. Third wolf is going to give that um, that chain another solid yank, which is going to dislodge the spike which had kept all three of these lengths of chain in this stone from the stalagmite. So now W2 and W3 are just dragging loose chains behind them. But W3 can absolutely move. And he is going to be right the fuck next to Sylvester, but he does not have an attack action because he had to use his action to do some yanking. So Hans, you're up.
That's a flank right there.
Yeah, but
It's
W3
going-
doesn't know that, so, you know, he's...
He's about to find out.
Hans is going to bring up his ass that did not distract, that alerted the guards. And he is going to take a swipe at W3.
All right, roll the hit.
He thinks he's still being sneaky a little bit.
Yeah, he can think that.
Oh, man. That's good formation, right?
24 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit. That's a big hit for sure. Roll your damage.
That's amazing.
Alright, he brings his axe up over his head two-handed. Let's see what we get for damage. Max damage. 12 for damage.
Oh man, and W3 is also grievously wounded. Lets out a howl, a yelp of pain, bleeding all over the place, but still standing on his own strength.
Still alive.
W2 and W3 just fucking barely, but they're both still alive. Yeah. Hans?
I think that is going to be it for Hans.
Okay, that is the end of initiative order. I have to pee, so I'm going to go do that, and I'm more than happy to do another round of combat if you guys want. Totally up to you. But either way, I'll be right back.
Finish it out.
Yeah, provided 2 out of the 3 of us hit, we'll finish this one up.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we might be able to just kind of coup de grace them or something.
What's coup de grace?
The death blow would be one of those things where it's almost in olden times it would be the almost like a free action of like if somebody is like prone and bleeding and just like
Oh, okay.
you could just walk up and stab them. So probably not. I think they're still kind of feisty, but especially if they were still chained, it's like just walk up out of range with the sword, poke them in the face. Job's done.
Was honestly like if I hadn't rolled a nat 1 on initiative, I was just gonna have like Hans literally just go up there and start, wailing on him. You guys try to sneak past.
At some point, I'm gonna have to let you just kind of go ahead of me, especially if I get hit again.
He is the Kool-Aid man.
Okay, all right. I am back. What did you guys decide?
Keep going.
I figured you guys are very close to the end of this battle, but I want to be courteous of everyone's time. Okay, so we brings us back to the top, which Sylvester starts us off.
Is this so? All the wolves are free.
They are free. They're dragging their chains. They still have their collars attached to a chain, which they're dragging behind them, but it's no longer attached to the rock. They are no longer anchored anywhere.
Hans should swing those things.
They might be dead before it gets to his turn.
You never know, though.
All right, Sylvester.
All right, so I'm going to stab number 2 up here with my rapier.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Oof, maybe not stabbing.
They have a pretty low AC.
Yeah. Do they have an 11 AC?
They have more than 11 AC.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, with the height differential and the newfound freedom of the wolves, they are a little bit harder to hit than a wolf that's chained up. And he manages to avoid your attempted swipe.
Bounced right off that dang collar. I knew it. All right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. If Sylvester is done, that brings us, coincidentally, to W2, who is going to make an attempt to return in kind. What did they get? I don't even know. I haven't even attacked with one of these yet.
Can I do a dodging panache?
I think so. What? How does it read?
It reads, when an opponent attempts to immediately attack, Swashbuckler can use it as an immediate action,
Yeah,
spend
okay.
1 panache point to move 1 5 feet and get an extra DC.
Yes.
Or extra dodge bonus to the AC.
Yeah, you're being targeted for an attack, so you can do that. You can burn a panache point if you want.
Yeah, that's no problem. I've got plenty.
Okay, so you burn a panache point, so you can move 5 feet, which still provokes attack of opportunity, and it's the same attack. He still gets a chance on the attack, but you have your new and improved AC. I'm gonna roll for that attack. He rolled fairly low, bottom half of the dice. That is a 12 to hit.
Negative.
Okay, so his bite will not land, and he can move if he wants to. He can leave his friends behind because his friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, no, he's done. Okay, so then that brings us to Bink.
Can Bink in this turn, since she's kind of like or more and obscured by the wall, just go into sneak?
No, because you have made an attack against this batch of enemies, and they have begun tracking you as an enemy combatant. So, I mean, at any point, yeah, you can, but fair warning, there's a negative 20 modifier for rolling into
that's
sneak
what I mean.
in
It's
combat.
one of those things where technically I can, but not really.
Right.
Like if we're okay. Is she within feet of W3?
How many feet? 10? No.
3 feet.
You'll
Okay.
you'll have to move forward at least a little.
Okay. Is this good?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna do a tongue tack.
Tongue attack on W3. You got it.
Okay. I'm eating some soup after this.
I don't know what I'm eating. I might have some food myself.
I'm not sure because those two snacks were like crunchy. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does the 17 hit?
That'll hit him.
Okay. And then I don't do sneak this time, right?
Not this time, no.
Okay.
You're almost flanking, but not quite. He is Sylvester and Hans get flanking. You don't.
Yeah. 7.
7 damage. Yeah, he's for sure dead. He was very close to death already. Yeah.
Bye-bye, puppy.
Uh,
Where's your puppy, Dave? We haven't had puppy cam in a while.
She's probably honestly up on the couch with Roxy. Roxy! Oh, yeah, I see the blankets moving on the couch. She's for sure on the couch. Roxy, come! Ooh.
Roxalicious.
Here she is. Oh.
The baby.
Oh, come here, sweet girl. Yeah. Oh,
and this is right when the camera quality goes down. No. Okay, there we go.
No. Come here, sweet girl.
Oh. The baby.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Hello. How you doing? Yeah,
Oh, man.
your friend Evan is watching. You can't see him, but he can see you.
I miss that little meatball.
Oh man, I am so
It's
excited to
Uncle
bring her up
Evan.
to meet
Oh,
your little puppers, and oh, it's gonna be so good.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a great time.
Yeah. Okay.
wait, you got puppies too?
I have another pit mix. Pit Shepherd Harley is a brindle pit.
Oh, I have a 21-year-old Chihuahua,
Nice.
and then her
Old
baby.
ass Chihuahua.
And Dave has met them both.
Wow.
Princess is still alive since the last time you met her.
Princess is old, man.
She's ancient. She ain't got no teeth. My grandma hopes one day you will stop by because she wonders if Princess will remember you.
I doubt it very.
Because she took an
seriously.
interest in you, and she's remembered people who have been like 6 years ago coming in. She'll like freak out
I mean, maybe.
like a crackhead. She'll like start.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, Bink, it was you. You're finishing up. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I just shanked him.
You shanked him. He's done.
Yep.
That brings us to. Well, it would have brought us to W3. He's not with us anymore. So Hans, you're up.
Is going to go over here and like step over the corpse and everything like W2.
And attack W2.
Yes.
Give it a roll.
20 something.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
5 damage minimum.
You get to describe his death to us.
I think he just it's not a pretty swipe. He like stumbles a bit on the step and like kind of drops his axe on W2.
But it's a heavy axe, and it still gets the job done.
Yeah, so he just like stumbles on a step, like he loses grip of the axe, and it just falls onto W2's head. And it is done so.
Okay.
Love fish.
It is dead, which brings all of you guys to free action. If there's anything super critical that you want to say to each other now, you are more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, this does seem like a natural breaking point for the evening. And we will pick it up the next time Daniel is unable to join us and people are free.
I saw that chunky puppy run. That was cute.
Yeah, she got a wiggle butt. Any parting words to one another before we wrap up?
Nice meeting y'all.
Yeah, well, if we're doing those kind of parting words, then I'm gonna wrap up stream. Give me a second. All right, guys. Thank you for watching us. This has actually been Minds of Phandelver. We run it overlapping with Dragon of Icespire Peak. We should do any of that content tonight. So join us next week, and we will either be playing this or my homebrew campaign. Catch you later.